And that's the thing, man, is that the randomness of God is it only looks random to us. But for him it's like it's pinpoint strategy. It's pinpoint like there's no mistake here.
The randomness of God only looks random to us.
Yeah. So I guess one of the things that has really struck me, Richie, is just kind of like how just what numbers mean, and I've got just this feeling that the world is number crazy, and so what does it mean for us as musicians? And I think so many times we get caught up in the system of numbers to try and tell us whether we were successful or not. But this is something that now comes from my faith in God, right? Where I understand that I can never have the full picture of what God is doing. So my job is to do the best that I can and then let him do God things, which is whatever was meant to happen. So for example, that story from Just a Man of this guy, and God can literally make you do, spend $1,000 on producing a song, spend $4,000 or $5,000 shooting a music video, and for it to have 10,000 views on YouTube. But there is one guy, and that one guy, when he receives this thing, basically says, I was contemplating suicide, and I've literally found my whatever God wanted me to get from this. So I think as the creators, man, and this is something I'm so passionate about, because you have to keep on fighting it. Because the tendency is to count the numbers and then let your worth and let what you feel about success
be based on
that, right? And that's how the world looks at it. And sometimes I feel sad that the church and Christian music, that we superimpose this system, which is a different system from the one we're running on, onto our whatever. And true, is there something to be said about numbers? There has to be, but I don't think the numbers equal success, and you cannot know what God is doing. I'm going to preach a little. So there's a story that's told in the New Testament, and it's Jesus who heals a blind guy, and his disciples, come up to Jesus and they're like, "Hey, so who sinned? Was it this guy's parents, or was it him? Was it mom, dad? Like, what happened that to cause this output? Yeah,
some generational curses.
Exactly. Yes. What are the inputs to bring this whatever?" And Jesus' response is classic, man. Extreme. And he tells them neither of them sinned. None of them sinned. And this guy was blind so that God's glory could be experienced. Right?
By you. Today.
Right now. Right? And so you're like, wait, this guy was blind his whole life. I'm sure he had, woe is me, why was I blind? Why was I born blind? And there was a moment that God had planned for where his blindness would end up being, I love what we said off camera, would be the literally the statement, I was blind but now I see.
It's about that guy.
Is about him that has stood the test of time, right? He's been gone 2,000 plus years, but we still quote him,
As in, you're talking about him now.
But I'm literally talking about him now.
Yeah.
And so I think there's just such a power in I think understanding that, that releases you from the numbers telling the entire story of what you're doing and what God is doing.
And to add on to what you're saying, I call it deliver us from views. I have it.
Yeah.
I have it.
Yeah.
My channel has been there longer than any other channel,
Yeah.
podcasting channel
Yeah.
in this country.
Yeah.
And I'd even say even in the region.
Yeah.
And sometimes I used to feel that way.
Yeah.
Even when I was a musician,
Yeah.
I'd always wonder, why am I not winning the Groove Awards?
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
And what I realized that thing does, it makes you now stop doing you to start doing other guys,
Yeah.
so that you can get
You can get whatever you think the reward is.
exactly.
Yeah.
But one of the most, and maybe somebody listening who's in my podcasting space or in the music space.
Yeah. Or even business,
Yes.
wherever you are.
You know, when you stop looking at a view as a view,
Yeah.
and you look at it as a human,
Yeah. Yeah.
like Kanjii, we used to do gigs. I
Yep.
know what 500 guys looks like.
Yeah.
There's no place that we could do a gig that can hold 10,000 guys.
Yeah.
And when you begin to imagine 10,000 humans
Yeah.
back then,
Yeah.
that's a sea of people.
Yeah.
100,000 humans.
That is unbelievable.
It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah. But I like what you said, and I think you should say it again. It's a fight that you need to have.
It's something that you have to keep on. Our nature is we always slide to the darkness. So you have to fight for light. You fight for light. You don't fight for darkness. Darkness, you you slide there naturally, right? So you always have to fight for the light, and so it's something that you have to keep on reminding yourself and fighting, because once you understand that, number one, legacy means nothing.
What do you mean legacy means nothing?
Oh, legacy is nothing. Legacy is fool's errand.
Okay, I'll come back to that.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Yeah, legacy. Let's talk about legacy at some point.
That's when I put a pin on it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
what do you mean legacy means nothing?
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
Legacy is garbage. When you're like, your self-worth is tied to, or your view of success, or your view of, how well you have done is tied to numbers. Woe is you, because the numbers don't always add. The numbers don't always add. And I think this is specifically for believers, because you have to trust the hand of God. You have to trust what God is doing. You have to trust what God is doing. And you have to trust that even though your eyes don't see what God is doing, you have to trust that his hand is doing something, right? And so what's your commitment? Literally, God says he's the Lord of the harvest. So you are not the Lord of the harvest. So your job is to do what? Your job is to plant. And he's the one who brings the sun. He's the one who brings the rain. Those are his job. And then he's the one who determines the size of the harvest. Yeah. So your job is to plant. That's it. And I love what Paul says, it's like, hey, I planted, but Nani is the one who came and reaped. Right? And so could have felt bad, man. There was no reaping. Nani came after you to reap what you sowed. But maybe that was God's intention for you, to be the guy who planted. And don't you want to do what your father wants of you? But it's a fight, my guy. You have to completely keep on reminding yourself, because you're a musician. I check my YouTube numbers. I do. And I'm checking
5.4 million.
Yeah, because I want information.
Yes.
Right? And the information is good, but the information shouldn't shape me. You never know. You cannot know what God is trying to do, man. And you'll only know at the end.
That's so. In 2019, just because we're having this conversation, I sat down, and I think this is specifically, actually for anybody.
Yeah.
I sat down and I wrote down, what is success?
Yeah.
How do I define success?
Yeah.
Because everything is hitting you.
Yeah.
Money is hitting you. Fame is hitting you. All these different things.
Yeah.
And for me myself, I just wrote, success is obedience to God.
Yeah.
Full stop.
That's it.
Like that's for myself.
Yeah.
So I base my whole measure on success on, do I have permission to sit down with Kanjii?
Yeah.
Or do I have an instruction to do a CTA with Kanjii?
Yeah.
And if the answer is yes,
Then I'm going to do it.
that's it.
Yeah. And that's it. And that's it. It's just to do what you're meant to do.
But I can
and do it as well. With everything is given you, you do it as well as you possibly can. That's the entire commitment. That's the entire commitment. Should you market? Yes. Market as well as you can.
Yep.
Should you do media interviews and do it all? Do it all. But once you've done, you have to let it go. Because you have no idea. Maybe it was, in fact, you are doing that so that you could go on radio and talk about your song, and there was someone who was meant to hear that, and that was the entire purpose. that was the entire purpose for you doing all of this. Yeah, you never know,
dude. Do you know I have a million stories like that because of you?
Oh wow!
Can you remember Fearless? You didn't show up on stage. The first Fearless.
I don't remember that. What happened?
Mavuno.
Yeah, I remember Fearless. Yeah.
Remember, we were part of the guys who
produced it.
Produced it.
Yeah.
And meeting.
In fact, we produced it.
Yes,
we weren't even one of the people. We were the production.
We were the production.
Yeah.
And who was supposed to MC that day? You.
No way.
So you don't show up.
Yeah.
And because you don't show up,
yeah.
because I think you were stuck in traffic or something, that in Mombasa Road.
Yeah.
The only other person who knows the thing
was you.
Was me. And I'd never done that.
What?
So I said yes. Do you know what happened out of that?
Yeah.
I got 3 TV gigs. Because out of that MCing, I started being called to service lead on Sundays.
Yes.
Out of service leading,
yes,
people who owned TV and radio stations and thingy started through that.
Yeah. Well, like, dude,
that's how I ended up becoming the Groove Award ambassador.
Wow.
That's how I ended up getting the Get Lifted show, because what is her name? Sarah Migui was in stage.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I didn't ever think that was ever going to go that direction.
Wow.
And I can tie going to TV and CTA together.
Yeah.
But imagine that.
Can you see that?
Who would have ever thought?
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing, man, is that the randomness of God is it only looks random to us. But for him it's like it's pinpoint strategy. It's pinpoint like there's no mistake here.
The randomness of God only looks random to us.
Yeah. It only looks random to us, man. Like, and for me, I just feel like, dude, like, if there's a message, like, I know we're not even talking about my story at this point, but if there's a message that is so critical for guys, it's that is, man, you have to find out how to let go of the result. You have to find a way to let go. Yeah, whatever that means, whatever the result for you is, you have to find a way of letting it go. And I'm not saying let go of working hard and waking up early in the morning and doing everything you can to do the best that you can with all that God gave you. In fact, that's it. Do all you can with everything God gave you. That's your job. That's it. And then everything else, you have to just let it go. You have to let it go. Yeah. He's the one who determines the harvest. And some, it's 1, some it's 10, some it's 100. Yeah. But the harvest is his. Yeah.
God! That's so good.